Hi there, my name is Mr Wishart and I'm actually a Head of History and Politics teacher in Northern Ireland. I'm also a member of the Northern Ireland Teachers collaboration site as well too, one of the admins in that. And we're really excited because we have just introduced our new YouTube, and we really hope to be able to roll out some videos to be able to help out other teachers in Northern Ireland to make the best use of e-learning and lots of other teaching material that you guys are all really amazing at actually sending through to the Facebook site. So I'm going to do a very quick overview on starting Google Classroom, okay? And it's we just thought it might be useful to hear a local voice, so it's not going to be any Kim Kardashian, I'm afraid, but this is just someone local who's going to go through and show you how to set up a Google Classroom. Okay, now you can do this in a number of ways. You can do this through going into classroom.google.com, so classroom.google.com in any browser, or you can actually do it through My School like this is here. Okay, and this one here is a Latin College one, and you can see in the launch pad on the top right hand side, along with many of your schools as well, you will actually have your Google Classroom up here. Okay, so if you click on that, my one's going to go straight through to the actual site itself. Now you guys will actually log on using your c2ken.net C2K accounts, okay, and you would also use your C2K password to get into that, so it should be relatively easy to remember. Now you can see here there's lots and lots of Google Classrooms that I have here. Okay, if you're opening it for the first time, you will not have any of these at all, but you can see at the top you have a panel. You've got this section over here, the little hamburger, and on the right hand side you've got this little plus, and this is what we want to start a new class. So if we click on this, it's going to give us two options. The first is to join a class. If you know a code from another teacher, you can actually join a class, and I'd recommend that you probably do that. It really lets you see how other teachers operate and how their Google Classrooms are structured, and it's a good way of collective learning as well too. Okay, so for this one here we're going to create a class. So you go here and you press create a class, and it asks you for a couple of things. What I'd really suggest that you do here though is be quite careful, because you have to make this quite applicable to the class that you want. So we'll do, let's see, Mr Wishart, year 10 C history. Okay, and it could be a section, so you might be doing, let's see, suffragettes maybe, subject history, and the room might be your classroom. Okay, alright, so we go to create, and this is going to bring us up into the new Google Classroom. One thing I should explain, why would I put a little more detail here? Well, the pupils will have lots and lots of Google Classrooms, okay, and they have to differentiate between them. So your 10C class, you might actually teach a few year 10 classes, as might other teachers. They have to differentiate between these. Okay, so put in my name and put in the class, the full class title will help them to find that there, okay, if they're looking for it as well too. Alright, so we're going to go to create, and it usually takes a couple of seconds to actually produce this, okay, and it'll come up with your new Google Classroom. Now whenever you see your new Google Classroom, it usually comes up as well with something that they would identify as their banner, okay, and it usually tries to link up with what you have, okay. And you can tell in this one it hasn't, because it's more of an artistic banner here. But how you would actually be able to change this is to go down to this section down here on the right hand side, and you can actually upload your own photo, which is quite a good thing to do, okay. And there's some companies like PhotoJet's a really good one to go and be able to design a banner, but to get a free one here is just go to select theme, and for me I'm going to choose history and English here. I'm going to choose something quite applicable, so we might go to this here, okay, and choose. Okay, it looks quite good because it's on a darker background as well, so it stands out more. Okay, now up here at the top we have a couple of different options. Okay, this left hand side is going to show all the different classes that you're going to have. Okay, so you might only have a few, but it will show down this section. The calendar will show any assignments that you have there as well too, and classwork is one of the things that you use the most as well too. So this is where you put your assignments and material. People is really useful for introducing students through emails, and to see how many students are involved in your class as well too. So each time one of them logs on, it'll be down here. And teachers, well, what you do is you can invite a teacher. So say you're co-teaching a class, you just go up here, put their C2KEN email in and send it to them, and they'll be able to join up. Okay, and you can also it's also a good way to share good practice as well by getting teachers involved in your classes too. Marks, all the assignments that you introduce throughout the year will all be collated here in this section here. Okay, now for this short aspect in introducing the Google Classroom, I'm going to teach you just one thing. Okay, one thing that's really, I think, really important, and that's structure. Okay, I always think it's really important to have a good structured Google Classroom for you and for the students. So this stream here is actually going to be all your announcements that you're going to make to them. Okay, but the classwork area is where you're going to use the most, and what I'd really ask you to consider is breaking this up into topics. So if you go to create and go down to topic, you'll do this once, but I can tell you it'll make your life so much easier. And what I always tend to do is put specifications, or you can put specifications, course guides, and I would always put this one at the start of all of them, even from year 8 all the way up to A level. And what I would put in here is sort of the term ahead models, so what they're going to be looking at, anything on punctuation, any guidance that you want, it can all go in here. It's really good for course guides. If you're doing A levels or GCSEs, you put all your schemes of work course guides in here, and they can actually refer to that there as they go along too. Okay, so that's usually number one, and then I'm going to start then building up the course. Okay, so let's see, this is my spelling today. So suffragettes, introduction. Okay, so say that's number 1 or number 2. This will be here. Okay, I'm going to just drag it down. So we could have suffragette introduction. We could have suffragette. Tactics. Okay, and you just drag it down to where you need. So we've got 1, 2, 3. You can actually build this up the whole way through the year, and I would probably encourage you to do that. If you build up the whole way through the year, what you could do is put in tasters into each. Okay, so there'll be key documents into each, and that's really good for the gifted and talented learners to actually be able to bite in and read on ahead and try to get ahead of the course. Really good way to stretch them as well too. So if you build it up all the way through the year, I wouldn't really tend to do more than 12 for this actually, and what I would do towards the end of this is always the same as well too. So I'm going to put in, let's see, if you do 12, you have to imagine the rest is in there, and I usually put exams and revision. So I would have perhaps like sample exam papers in there, and revision, maybe waggles as well too, what a good one looks like. That's usually quite good for them to refer to. And let's see, 13 is another one that I'll do as well too, and that is assignments. So this keeps all their assignments together in one place, easy to refer to, easy for you to refer to, and I think it just keeps everything nice and neat. Okay, great. So once you have all that done, that is basically your skeleton to your site, and then what you can do after that is you can actually add all these different things to that. So you can add assignments, quiz assignments, questions, materials, a big one, and you can reuse posts as well, all within this. Okay, and it connects up. It's almost like putting things into a folder. You can also see down the side, this is what the pupils will have too, nicely organized, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. Okay, and it's a really nice way to be able to set up your Google Classroom. So once you have that skeleton, you are ready to go. I'm going to leave the other things though for a different video. Hopefully this is useful. Thank you.